Oh, hi, Ducky Loves. So, welcome back. I hope you've all had an amazing week, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight to learn how to make New Year, New Yolo. So, if you've already got my recipe book, which is called One Book of Fudge, which you can download off of Amazon worldwide, then you would have already seen that in my first book there's a couple of recipes that feature Rolos, which I love Rolos. Tell me someone who doesn't. Rolos, if you've never had them, are milk chocolate and caramel. So with this in mind, I thought, wouldn't it be amazing if I made a Rolo inspired fudge topped with Rolos? So that's what we're going to do today. So very simply, you need a tin of caramel, which I always use Carnation caramel, but honestly, doesn't matter. If where you are, there's a cheaper brand, then use a cheaper brand. It will all taste the same. Where I am, I can never find like a supermarket's own brand of caramel. So I always end up going with the expensive one. But it all tastes the same. Make sure you scoop out every last bit of caramel. As you can see, it just plops all over the place. But you want to get all of that caramel out and into your glass bowl. So today's recipe is going to be made in the microwave. So with that in mind, you obviously have to use a microwavable bowl. So I always use a glass bowl. Then I'm going to use 5 bars of milk chocolate. Again, I've used Morrison's own brand, but honestly, you can use your favourite milk chocolate, whatever's your favourite. If you're making this as a gift for someone, then, and you're, thinking about the cost of how much it's going to cost you for a batch. A batch makes 3 boxes, so you do get a lot out of it. But you can use your favourite milk chocolate for this indulgent treat. For me, for the purpose of selling it and donating the profits, I obviously use the cheapest one, because honestly, it all tastes amazing. Break your milk chocolate up because it will melt quicker and easier when in the microwave. Clear your rubbish up as you go, which is something I always do, and try and recycle. And then you can get this going in your microwave for 1 minute. Now, if you've watched any of my videos before, you will know that my microwave is an 800-watt microwave. If yours is higher wattage, then I would suggest doing it in 30-second increments, because whenever you use milk chocolate, it's very easy to burn in comparison to white chocolate. So I know 800-watt microwave, I can do it for 1 minute and it's not going to burn before I stir it. If you're doing it on the hob, then obviously you need to make sure you're watching it. And also, if you're doing it on the hob, you do it in a glass bowl above a pan of boiling water and melt it that way. Don't melt it in the saucepan, because it will just burn. It will be very easy to burn. So while we're waiting for that, we're not waiting for that. It dings straight away. I'm going to use my special snowman spoon that I got bought for Secret Santa, and I got bought this apron as well. I love an apron. And I'm just going to use my wooden spoon to stir. As you can see, the chocolate is in big slabs still, which is why it's better to break it up. That caramel is already boiling hot, so do not touch that caramel. But get in there with your spoon and spread that caramel out around your chocolate. Then put it back in for another minute. Now, while we're waiting, we're gonna cut our baking paper. So I use a 9-inch tin, which you might know as a brownie tin. In my house, loves, they're fudge tins. And I just get my baking paper, put it straight across the top of the tin, get my scissors, sharp pair of scissors, go straight along. I don't waste this because I cut this up and line my tubs with them for my customers, so I don't ever waste baking paper. But then I'll get a tray, another tray, flatten it over the top, and I'll keep that flat so that when it's ready to pour, you've got flat fudge and the baking paper isn't going to spring up on you. So now we're going to stir again. Now you can see the milk chocolate has melted quite a lot now. Just be careful that you don't touch any of the chocolate because it will burn you. If for whatever reason you do, run your finger under a cold tap for 10 minutes. So give it a good stir. Can hear it sloshing around. Really get in there and move those big chunks around. And then put it back in for another minute. In total, a fudge recipe that uses milk chocolate normally takes 4 to 5 minutes to melt. Normally I do it for 5 and I check at every 1 minute increment. If I get to 4 and I feel like it's melted enough, I'll stop. Depends if it depends what consistency you want. If you want it to be really smooth, so for example, because we're going to top this one with Rolos, it's got to be smooth enough so you can get the Rolos and push them down. But say for instance you were adding something into the fudge, you might stop it after 4 minutes, add your ingredients in and stir and pour it, because whatever you're adding to it is in the fudge, so you might not need it extra runny. So this is after 3 minutes of microwave. So the colour is an absolutely gorgeous orange tinged brown. It's just the perfect, well, Rolo colour. This one's called New Year, New Yolo because I don't call any of the fudges with Rolos in Rolo. It's always Yolo. So I've got Yolo, which is just a plain milk chocolate fudge topped with Rolos. I've got Yolo Deluxe, which is a white chocolate and caramel fudge topped with Rolos. And then I've got New Year, New Yolo, because it came on the menu in January. It was a new year, it was a new take on using Rolos, and this is a milk chocolate and caramel fudge with the Rolos. So we're just waiting now for this to ding. what I usually do is listen to music and do a little dance at this point and get moving. Obviously I can't put music on in YouTube because it'll get blocked, but just do a dance for a minute. And then when you fudge things, so this is after 4 minutes, and I can already tell, I think that's enough. So when you're melting caramel with chocolate, it does tend to melt a bit quicker than when you're melting chocolate in condensed milk. If it was chocolate in condensed milk, it would need another minute, but it's melted. You can see how easily that's stirring. And then in my tin that was lined, I'm now going to pour it. As I say, be careful that you don't burn yourself. And then once it's in your tin, smooth it out using the back of your wooden spoon. Make it an even layer. Do a fudge swirl, and now you're ready to top with Rolos. So in a batch this size, you'll get 36 pieces, which means if you're good at maths, you've got to do 6 by 6. Annoyingly, if you buy a 4-pack of Rolos, because they've only got 8 Rolos in a pack now, you will definitely need to buy 2 4-packs for this recipe. But I always go 6 down one side and then 6 across the top, so I know 100% that I'm getting 6 by 6. If you go rogue, I promise you, you won't do it. It's very easy to not get the spacing of this one right. So you'll be able to see. I've gone 6 across the top, 6 down the left-hand side, and I do it the same way each time. And then I simply just line up the next line so that it goes down in a straight line, across in a straight line. So when I come to chop it up into batches, it's easy to do. So this is my last pack now. And obviously just be careful that there's no gold foil stuck to the Rolo when you put them in the fudge. I'm sure we've all had one before where it's stuck on. It's not going to harm you, but it's not it's not a good look if you're doing this for a gift for someone. And there you go. Obviously recycle your foil and the paper bit goes in your normal bin. But there you go. You've got 6 by 6. Now I let this cool down and then I put it in the fridge for 2 hours, and I will come back and show you how it looks. Oh, hi you ducky loves. So 2 hours later, and New Year, new Yolo has completely set. See what I mean about the 6 by 6 formation I was talking about earlier? It looks so pretty, doesn't it? So what I'll do now is chop this up into 36 pieces and package this ready for sale. It's as simple as that. Thank you so much for joining me and learning how to make New Year, new Yolo. And I'll be back next Friday at 8 PM.